Tariffs have been in the minds of many people ever since President Donald Trump started a global trade war with nearly every country in the world. In mid-Michigan, some wonder how those tariffs will affect local business on the ownership side and the consumer side. Is the situation overhyped, or is it a genuine concern? Mid-Michigan Now's Kyle Macon speaks with a small business owner and an economics professor for some insight into the issue.
We've been hit with so much inflation over the last few years, it's hard to attribute this is specifically tariff or this is just kind of us still just racking up the inflation.
Uncertainty is never a good thing when it comes to business. Patrick Hinkst owns 3 businesses in Lapeer: Lightning Rounds, Wood Chips Barbecue, and Cookies and Cream.
I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, been in the restaurant industry since I was 16, 43 now. Been a manager for 20 plus years, an owner for 15 plus years, and still going strong.
The big question is, can that streak continue? Over the years, Hinkst has run into some issues that were out of his control, like the pandemic, inflation, and now tariffs.
Businesses, we mostly just want stability and knowing what to expect. We're entrepreneurs, we're adaptable, we can figure things out, but when we don't know what tomorrow is going to look like, it's really hard for us to adapt to that.
Hinkst says he hasn't felt any effects from President Trump's tariffs, but inflation, Hinkst says that's had a big impact on his bottom line.
We've been seeing at least double-digit price jumps across the board into most staple products. A lot more instability, especially when it comes to like core proteins, chicken, pork, steak.
Inflation right now is running at about 2.4%, which is much lower, but it's still higher than it was prior to COVID.
U of M Flint economics professor Chris Douglas says inflation is a real problem, but he also says the reason why Hinkst and other restaurant owners aren't feeling the impact from tariffs is because we don't import a lot of food or consumers' goods.
If you look at the top 10 list of imports, it's primarily raw materials and energy products, things that are used in the manufacturing process in the United States.
On that front, we're known for automotive manufacturing. The website Data USA says in 2023, Michigan produced $244 billion in cars, light-duty trucks, and related products. The president's tariffs do impact the auto industry, with many parts coming from countries including Mexico and China, among others. Douglas says you'll definitely might feel the impact at a local dealership.
If you're a car company and you're paying 25% more for your parts thanks to a tariff, that gets passed on through a higher price for the vehicle, which means the auto dealer is going to sell fewer cars.
He says with more cars on the lot and fewer people being able to afford them, workers at the dealership will make less money, causing a trickle-down effect for the economy.
Fewer people are going to amusement parks, fewer people are going on vacation, things like that.
The new tariffs started in February, and Douglas says it will take more time for small businesses to feel the effects. But the economic uncertainty can make expanding or starting a business much scarier.
If you're going to spend $1 million, but that might turn into 1.4 and you don't know, but it's going to take you like 3 months of prep work, you might just kick that can down the road just to make sure that you're in a good spot and not biting off more than you can chew.
Hinkst appears to be practicing what he's preaching. He tells me he planned to expand his Lightning Rounds restaurant, but decided to hold off due to rising cost estimates. He's more focused on keeping his customers and providing them a reason to keep coming in.
Us in the hospitality field are more than happy to do what we can to turn that frown around if that's the situation, but just do your best to treat everybody with respect, because on some level everybody's going through something right now, and so let's just lead with that love and kindness, and I think we can make the world a better place regardless of what the politicians are doing.
Inflation is down from its highs and lately has been holding steady, but Chris Douglas says it needs to come down even more to help businesses like Patrick Hinkst. As for tariffs, Douglas feels the president will bring them back down to what Douglas calls a more normal rate in time for the next election cycle. In the studio, Kyle Macon, Mid-Michigan Now.